You know, we be bitter at ourselves and at our family for things that we didn't achieve, you know, and we got to start by taking responsibility within self, you know. So once we take responsibility within self, you know, the healing process can start, and you can start, you know, getting ways so you can get out the gate.
Welcome back to What I Know Now. I'm your host, Cole Williams, and today we're talking about the realities and what it means to reimagine the juvenile justice system. So you listen to the What I Know Now podcast, where each episode covers the human stories behind America's justice system. Through honest conversations, we search for understanding, accountability, and a path forward. So my name is Cole Williams, and I am honored, man, to have you in the podcast studio. So here with me is Michael Buxton. Is that accurate?
Sir. Yes,
you go
sir.
by Mike?
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, when I grew up, it was Mikey. So you know, it kind of changed as I got older.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, over time, yeah. When I was growing up, they called me Blackie, and then it was Colbert, and then it went to Cole. And now it's Mr. Williams. So I got it. I got it. So listen, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. So most people know you, but they don't often know your journey. So why don't you give us an introduction around who you are, where you come from, and how did you get to where you are now?
Well, first thing first, I just want to say thank y'all, and I appreciate y'all for having me, you know, like I really do. I'm from Grand Rapids, you know, the southeast side, born in the 80s, you know, and I grew up in the area of Sherman and Eastern area. So, you know, imagine 80s, Sherman and Eastern. So, you know, it was more like poverty, like lower income, you know what I'm saying? A lot of single mother homes, parents, you know, a lot of cousins and a lot of that growing up. So with that come love, but with a lot of that, it also comes, you see the real environment of the streets.
Absolutely.
I got an older brother, you know what I'm saying, and cousins that I really was looking up to. And for watching them, you kind of take on some of the tasks that they were doing, you know? So you understand in the 80s, you know, you got a house full of like lawyers. You know?
House full of lawyers.
You got a house full of lawyers or teachers. So if you got a house full of lawyers or teachers, you know, you're pretty much going to follow the path of one of those.
Absolutely.
And in my household, my mom was at work and my brothers was in the streets. And cousins. So what you going to do? You know, so I followed the path of, you know, my over sibling and my cousins and took on the street route. But before that, like, you know, I was a good kid. You know, I played football, you know, Siemens Center. You know, I was a quarterback. You know, I was a leader. You know, always been a leader. You know, it just seemed like I was the youngest, but it always seemed like I had that leader ability. You know, so I always, you know, took on the task of being a leader. So I played quarterback for Siemens Center, and I did well, you know what I'm saying?
One of the things I was going to ask you, because I think it's an important question, right? Because some of our listeners are young people that are involved in the juvenile justice system. Did you know you were a leader when you were a leader? Were there people telling you, but you just didn't really recognize it?
No. So yes and no. So, you know, you'll have people telling me like, oh man, you gonna be this and you that, but when you're younger, you know, you still got your other siblings that you're looking up to them, so you don't even know you are leading another amongst groups of kids. So you're not even paying attention to that. So my influence was affecting their influence too, the younger kids. You know, so a lot of kids and stuff don't see that. And, you know, so when I played sports, you know, it was cool, like, and I started seeing it. I started seeing the ability that, you know, so I'm young playing for Siemens Center. But I think by my mom pretty much, you know, working, my brothers and them in the streets and stuff like that, the support wasn't there.
Talk about that, because I hear young people talk all the time about, Mr. Cole, there's no support. No matter what I do, nobody's supporting me. Why wasn't support there, if you could answer that? And what does support look like or didn't look like?
So you got to understand, like, as an adult, parents, they don't understand that a child seeing, you know, them, you on the sideline, or you just coming to check on them and just things like that, that it really helps them, whether they in the game or not in the game, whether they're a superstar or they not a star. You know, it's still just seeing it. And me, I was the superstar of the team, but like everybody else, parents running up and down the street, up and down the field, yelling, go, 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 go. And, you know, I don't see mine, you know, so, and when I got, and not that my mom was lacking, she was trying to take care of home. You know, her and my father was married, but, you know, he just disappeared. So, like, it wasn't like they was dating and she had me. Like, they were married. You know, this was her husband. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, he just moved, and he moved back down south where he's from. So, you know, I didn't have a father's support as well. So, you know, she wasn't doing anything wrong because home was good. Like, she made sure we had some food. You know what I'm saying? She made sure we can get to point A to B. We had some clothes. So she made sure the basic essentials was met. You know what I'm saying? But as a kid, you don't understand that.
Yeah. You don't see that.
You don't see that.
Yeah,
you don't know
see
that. You just know, dang, my mom ain't at the game.
Yeah.
Or my brother ain't at the game, you know, and they still trying to take care of what they need to take care of so they don't have to be a burden to the mother.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're a kid, you don't understand that.
No, you don't see that.
So that led me to like maybe, I think I played like my last sports, I think 9th grade.
Okay.
So 9th grade, I played quarterback for Central. And then I went to play basketball for Central, and I ended up playing junior varsity as the freshman. And I could tell you the game that it was, it made me say, you know what, I'm done with this. We played Muskegon, went to Muskegon.
Okay.
And I was good on freshman, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But they pulled me up to JV.
Which is what they do.
So now I'm on the bench. And we getting whooped.
Okay.
You know, so we go to Muskegon, we getting whooped, and it was snowing real bad. And we come back, and ain't nobody out there to pick me up. So I got to walk from Central to Stonebrook.
Now, for those that don't know, what how far of a distance is that?
So
because people might not know that. Is that a couple miles?
So that's from college, and it's about a couple mile walk.
Okay.
In a good snowstorm. You know.
Did you have winter coat?
Just a little jacket, you know, and you just can't play basketball, you know. So it's just like you looking like, wow. So I was like, when I got home, I just looked, I was like, man, you know what? I'm straight. And then that's when I took all my stuff and I just took it back to the school. Like, I ain't playing basketball no more. And then that's when I started hanging with my peers that was heading to the street life.
Wow. How old were you, Mikey? How old were you?
I want to say maybe 13, 14-ish. It was in that range. Fresh teenage. Because I know I should have graduated when I was 17. So yeah, I was a freshman. I was definitely about like 13, 14-ish.
Man.
You know?
And that moment in your life was a pivotal moment for you because that's when you made the conscious choice that, all right, yo, this ain't working.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something different.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you see in your household, like I say, now my brother and his peoples and his peers, they're not the little guys no more. So you can go outside and pretty much see any car that you dreamed of.
Yeah.
You know, they come in and this like money was like, it's just easy. Like it really grew on trees, you know. And then you young and you seeing this. So that's what you want to emulate your life after.
Yeah.
But not knowing the obstacles and the things that come with that.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, you just want to follow behind that.
Well, it makes sense. Well, our North Star for the Delta Project is how do I become something I don't see?
Yes.
But the real question is, you tend to become what you see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was just explaining to my son, I have a 26-year-old, he's finna get his master's in January 8th, he get his master's degree in business. And I was just talking to him on the phone before I put up here. I was like, you know, when you're a child, you're something like a blank flash drive.
Yeah.
You only when the information get embedded in there, that's the information you receive and you know.
Yeah.
But you start off blank, a blank canvas. And then you go behind everything that was put in there. And that's pretty much how I fell in that place.
So tell us this, because we'll move around a little bit,
Okay.
right? So at one point, you become a father.
Yes.
Growing up where you had an absent father, is that fair to say?
Yes.
And now you're talking about your son. Tell us a little bit about your journey with fatherhood.
So it was hard.
Okay.
And I just like kind of just
Yeah.
add in. So once I pretty much took on the street life thing, I ended up having a child. I was 17.
Okay.
About 17. And like, you know, I was now at the point where I was really good at what I was doing. It wasn't right, but I was good.
He was good at it.
Yeah, and during this time I was getting in a lot of trouble during the street. Like, so I'm going to Juvenile.
Okay.
You know, they put me on day treatment, night watch. They put me on surveillance. You know, they put me in these programs that's not helping me. They just, we're gonna confine you. Okay. And when I get out, I'm like, okay, I'm finna go do what I'm still gonna do. Like, so, and I was ahead of my time. They didn't know this. So like I would be on surveillance. Like it was a time I got out and they put me on tether and surveillance. And they thinking they was putting me on tether and surveillance to my mother home. They put me on tether and surveillance to my own home. You know, so yeah, I was like 15, and you know,
What?
yes, I promise. So, and then they'll come, and they would never come in. I had a balcony, and so they just come and say, "Are you there?" So come open the balcony. I come up the balcony and wave, and that was that. But that's when me and my son, mom would be in the house. We were kids, but like I said, I was more of a. I probably was 15, living like I was 23. You know, like I hung around older people because my brother 8 years older than me.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
like I was hanging around older guys and my cousins. Everyone was older than me. I was the youngest. So, but like I said, I was taking on them traits, so I caught on fast, and I was good at it. So, yep, I'm in there, and they thinking it's my mom's house, and
so no one ever asked, "Hey, let me talk to mom."
Nope, they never asked. And then so they'll pick me up from my home, and I have to go to school at the Juvenile.
Okay.
So they just pull up outside, they pick me up, I go to school at the Juvenile, and I come back, and then I end up getting into some more trouble, and I think they gave me like 60 days in Juvenile, then they sent me to the county because I was getting close to that age.
Okay.
Yeah, I was getting close to that age where I was 17, so I was getting close to the adult.
Okay.
So they kicked me out. So now basically no more shackles on me, as you can say.
Yeah.
And I'm just out free to pretty roam. So
What we're now doing in the state of Michigan around juvenile justice reform
Yes.
is that they're really trying to reimagine how you engage with parents and
Mm-hmm.
families, right? We know that a lot of systems support children. When I think of the child welfare system has been put in place to support children and to make sure that children feel safe. When I think about the juvenile justice system is put in place to make sure, again, children are safe. They're safe if they're causing harm in the community. We are putting all these metrics in place to make sure that children, no matter what, in whatever system, that children feel safe. But now there's a conversation on board. Well, if we really want to support children, we actually also have to support parents.
True.
So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, how do you go through all of the practices that is connected to the juvenile justice system, surveillance and a PO, and no one engages with your mother?
yeah, and the engagement was low. It seemed like they never really, it was just like, we want to lock you up. Just they all automatically assume that locking a person up would change everything.
Yeah.
And that's like a punishment. Oh, I'll give you a whooping.
Yeah.
And then you still do something else.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like either I'm gonna start getting old enough where I ain't getting whoopings no more, or you just gonna stop and get tired of it. And you know, they lock you up, lock them up. And then after a point of time, it's not you get immune to it. Okay. And it's messed up to say.
Yeah, no.
But it's like now this ain't okay.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing worth I'm being here forever. So, okay, 60 days, 90 days, okay, and that's where it got to a point like that. So when I became that age where, you know, I was adulthood, the juvenile system couldn't really do much.
Okay.
But I can say, like, I had a good PO. You know, I had some good people that I met in the juvenile system that was cool, but I'm cool with a few of them still now. Like a lot of guys that was officers in there and stuff. Like during that time, you know, some of them I was like, nah, I really don't. But now as I grew into adult, you know, they was all right people.
Okay.
You know, you're going to have that at any job. You're going to have the bad ones, you're going to have the good ones, and it just comes with it. My son, mom, she ends up getting pregnant.
Okay.
You know, and I'm a guy in the streets.
Got you. Yep.
Her dad is a superintendent of schools.
Oh, so you clowning.
Yeah. So you know how that was going. Yes. So her mom's a teacher, the dad is superintendent in schools. So he doesn't want his daughter dealing with a guy like me.
Of course.
Yeah, he's a
Right.
high kind of figure in the city here.
Okay.
So he didn't want his daughter dating me and stuff. You know, and that was in the early 90s at that time. So late towards the late 90s at that time.
Okay.
So he didn't want that going on. If I was him at the time, looking back, I understand it, but if I am with kids now, I would have went and talked to that young man.
Okay.
Because I'm a young man, okay, it's 99, you pulling up in a 98 Cadillac, I'm pulling up in 99 Cadillac, you know? So like, and he looking at me like, who is this guy? Yeah,
How you
like what is he doing? Like I'm dressed, I'm clean. But if he would have probably put my coat and gave me some game or gave me some kind of guidance that I needed, you know, instead of like, stay away, because you see she's here. She's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I look at things like, if they're not going anywhere, let me try to help.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So if he'd have put some game or put my coattail, I might have never even went all the way in the wrong direction. And it's not his job because he wasn't my father, but I'm dating your child.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it just went like that. So she ended up getting pregnant, and I end up going getting in trouble, end up going on a run and moved to Memphis. A kid. I'm still a
So you
kid.
still 17.
Yeah, I moved to Memphis and I stayed down there for about 7-8 months. She come down there. She had to, she come down there and kick it.
Okay.
She had the baby. Like, it was real, man. Like, we was kids really living adult life. And then I moved back and ended up going to prison. And I sentenced me to 9.5 to 72 years.
So you 17.
I was 18 at the time.
18 at this time.
Yeah,
So now
I
you're
came
18.
back. Yeah, I'm 18.
And got sentenced to
9.5 to
years.
72. Yeah. So I'm like 9.5 to 72.
that
That don't
even
even
mean?
sound. That don't
Yeah.
even right. So you tell me I'm gonna be 28 basically when I get out, and I can pretty much be 100 if I don't do right. And they tell you in prison that prison rehabilitates you, and it doesn't. Like,
Wait. They tell you what?
prison rehabilitates you, and it doesn't. You have to want to rehabilitate yourself.
Yeah.
Like, my first 5-6 years I was in there, I'm gonna go home and do the same thing. I'm gonna go home and do the same, because it's programming. Wake up, eat, gym, this, work, bed. Then you got officers coming in that's not, being fair. Like, you got kids, you got brothers, you got cousins, you got nephews. I'm pretty sure you got someone that's in the system that you won't want to be mistreated.
Absolutely.
And them guys in there, like, okay, you got some very cruel guys in there.
Yeah.
True indeed. But you got to understand, it's people like your mom, my mom, and they're telling killers, hey, time to lock up, go in your room. And they do it. So they ain't that rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it can't be that bad. And that's, this is programming. Like, if that was that bad, they'd be trying to break out and escape and do whatever the case may be. And there's some bad people in the world. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not taking up for people that do stuff to kids. I'm not taking up people that do stuff to old people and stuff like that. Like, no, we don't. But at the end of the day, like, it's some good people in the system. Like, you got to want to really go in there and change for your own self. Like, jail, it's a dog cage. Go to child. What's child? Child's for dogs. Child time. They get on intercom. Child time. Time to eat your child. It's very segregated. Michigan systems, like, you're in there. It's, I had bunkies in my room from all races, but it's a pink card for black, and I think it was like a pink card for other and a white card for white. So everybody considered white or other. So, and I had a lot of good white friends, a lot of good Mexican friends, a lot of good black friends, a lot of good friends from all demographic, but it's not to rehabilitate you. It's really to kind of mess your mind up. Like, it's some people going there, and it's now, they putting colleges in there and they putting courses in there that can pretty much help you. But when I went,
nothing.
They had a few trade schools. Like, I took builder's trade, Habitat for Humanity. We getting paid $50 a month, and you in there 8 hours a day, slaving.
Wait, did you say $50?
$50 a month, $1. We was getting like 89 cents a day. So you figure 89 cents a day, you in there 8 hours a day. And I was their tutor. Like, I was teaching the kids teaching people, even grown people, how to build and how to do this. So you get 89 cents a day to be in here 5 days a week. You don't go, they're going to put you on unemployment, mean you got to stay in your room. It's another punishment, So it's all about the punishment in there, inside of punishment.
Yeah.
So how can I rehabilitate somebody where y'all got to worry about being punished,
Yeah.
So it's in there, it's pretty much like eat or get ate. If you weak, the weak get rolled on. So you got to be tough. And as a kid, what they teach you? Stop crying.
Yeah. That's the first thing we teach.
Stop crying. Be tough.
Yeah.
Don't be weak.
Yeah.
Stop crying. Be tough. Don't be weak. So as an adult, you in his place. Can't be weak. Got to be tough. Can't show no emotions.
Can't show any emotion.
Now what happens when we get out? What we supposed to do? They ain't give me nothing when I get out. Hey, how was your mental? How was this? You need to go somewhere? You need to talk to somebody? So if a kid go in at 18 and I came home 28, you go to the world. I still right now can't get if I need an apartment in my name, I still can't. And I've been home 16 years. So how is that rehabilitating?
It's not.
Nah, it's a system that's set up for you to fail, honestly. And I'm a healthy inmate. Like, they get $30,000 a year. If my uncle in there, he's on the med line, I see hundreds of people they go to the med line 3 times a day, sometimes 4. 6 in the morning, lunchtime, afternoon, and night. And if these old guys and they're going to the med line 3-4 times a day, they getting $80,000 a year, $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year per inmate.
Ooh.
Michigan and Texas is like, Los Angeles is like the top 3 states with prisons, right?
Yeah.
So what I tell you about us is a business.
Yeah.
So it's not about them trying to rehabilitate you, really. It's a setup for failure, because if guys doing 15, 20 years and coming home and y'all don't give them no packet to say, hey, here's a mental health lady or guy that's willing to help you get your mind right, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about, so when you got home, what did you bring home with you from prison? Now, I don't mean like clothes or anything like that. What were some of the things that you had to cope with that still showed up? That makes sense.
So it's just trust.
Trust. Okay.
Trust is the main thing. So when you in there, like I say, you got to watch your back. You got to be aware. You're going to find some group of people that you can really bond with and be cool with. I never really had no issues when I was in prison. Like my name from the streets followed me into the prison system. Okay. So I had a good name. So I never really had no problems. But you're going to have that when a bunch of men around each other, basketball, gambling, football, whatever sports, you're going to have that.
Yeah.
But coming home, just trust, pretty much. It's hard trusting when you come from an environment in there, you got to watch your back all the time, So trust was another thing. And then just, when you're away, a lot of family, they grow up, a lot of people that was kids, not kids no more, and the elders are getting older. Yeah. So, just adapting back to that. When I left, it was crazy. When I left, people had big screens. Now I got ours flat screens. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't these are two things I always talk about, because it wasn't the foam soap for bathroom. It was just the liquid. So I come home, the foam soap. I'm like, and what's another thing? It wasn't no tilapia. So I got out and we go eat. They're like, we going to get some tilapia. I'm like, what is that?
What is that?
That's something they made. And if you go do your research on tilapia, it wasn't tilapia. We never was going out to eat and get tilapia, So it was crazy.
So let me ask you this. I hear from men too that when you go in one age and you come out that same age.
Mentally.
Mentally.
But
can you break that down a little bit?
Yeah, because you got to understand, you go in at 18, 19, 20, and then you come home 30, you haven't seen, the only thing you can remember is the stuff before you was 20. Ooh. So you can't remember life outside of that 20. From your 20s and 30s, you only know this prison yard, or this form of incarceration. So all you can talk about. So if I went in 20, and there's another guy coming there, and I've been in there 10 years, all I can tell him was about, man, when I was doing this, when I was 19 or this and that, but that was 10 years ago. So you're talking about stuff that's changed that you don't know nothing about what's going on now. So you stuck in that realm of a reality of an old place that ain't even there no more. Ooh. So when they come home, that's why they be childish or can't cope or can't understand, and they trying to catch up because they lost. I think the good thing that I had within myself was I was always mature mentally.
Okay.
So always been around older guys. Okay. So by me mature mentally, and by me having a head when I was younger, I was already doing what people was doing. Okay. When I came home, people was doing the same thing.
Okay. Got you.
So I was like, oh, I seen this already. Okay. They did this before. So I know not to follow that same route again.
Yeah. Talk about family support, because I hear that a lot. So at a pivotal moment in your life, you were like, all right, I'm not doing this anymore. At 14, made this choice, hit the streets. Talk about what happens to men and women who are incarcerated and the families that they leave behind.
If you come from a nice family where it's two different sides, because a lot of people was out and doing their family wrong, but then get incarcerated and expect their family to hold them down. But every time you come around me, you do wrong. Yeah. So why should I return that loyalty to you? Okay. But when you're a good person, and you got family out there, the real one's going to make sure you're right. But I'm going to be honest with you. Mama going to be the main one.
Mama going to be the main one.
If it ain't nobody, mama ain't going nowhere. Mama going to be the main one. You are a baby, no matter how old you is. And a lot of people do their mom wrong and stuff. Yeah. Me, that's my baby. I never in my life, what I'm saying? Yeah. Mama going to hold you down. And that's what people got to understand. You get one mama and dad. No matter how, you can get 100 brothers, sisters, cousins. Yeah, you can get one mom, one dad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? 100 kids, one mom, one dad. So no matter what, even though my pops wasn't in my life, right now we got the best relationship in the world.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because we had to grow up and rebuild that. You know, so, you know, when you gone, like some people don't have nobody, man. Like you in there, like people can't even get 10 cent, 20 cent, well, they probably like $1 now noodles. Like it's rough. Like, and you got like back to what I was saying, you're making 89 cents a day. So say you're not working in a trade and you're only getting $15 a month. Now you got to survive on that. And say you owe restitution. So now I owe restitution, anything my family seeing, they take half of that. So you taking half of my restitution. And now I ain't got no money to eat because the food is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm ready to go take something in here. I'm ready to do something. How can I get rehabilitate? So when you owe restitution, are they coming to get that when you in there? So you need some kind of family support.
Okay.
You need some kind of support. Okay. And I think like with going back just a little bit, what stopped that as kids, we don't have nothing to offer them. Right now, everybody, like I done met with commissioners hit me up, hey, let's go out to eat, let's talk. And what can we help? What can we do for these kids to get them off the streets from doing this, and that? First, you gotta understand, these kids got these phones and they see everything. They seeing people dressed up, looking nice, looking good, doing this and that. And they go outside, they want the same thing. You want them to stop doing X, Y, and Z, but we got nothing to offer them. When we was coming up, it was Michigan Youth Club. Yeah. You can go work at the Parks and Rec, at the swimming pools. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of options these kids can do to make some money. Okay. There's nothing that we got for the kids now. You know, the kids can't go out there and say, I can sell candy and make 20, 30, 40 bucks because we don't have nothing for them.
Not at all.
It's all take. We want to get the kids to come here and take that. We want to get the kids to come here and take that. No, we got to give them something. Yeah. If we want them to change and go in different directions.
Yeah. Tell us about this. So you return home. You're 28?
I got out July 28, 09. I was 28, finna be 29. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you've done, I mean, Grand Rapids knows you, and I'm sure across the country people know you, right? How did you go from what you just described to a business owner, to a film director, producer? How do you... Because people are trying to, in my mind, I'm like, well, I just heard your journey. There's no way you should be able to do what you've been able to do.
So I never wanted to be in like the restaurant field or the food field, and I've been in it for 10 years. Okay. You know, when I was incarcerated, I was like, I'm gonna come home and do real estate. That's everybody incarcerated.
I feel like that's all my brothers right now that I work with that's incarcerated.
That's everybody thing they want to do real estate. When I got out, one, I didn't have no money. Okay. You know, so you can't buy nothing, you ain't got no money. Okay. And then for two, like just property was high. You know, so I was like, this can't be what I gotta do. So I end up rolling in school like CC and stuff. Okay. And I just went for like marketing. Okay. You know, basic marketing, get my basic reading and math and all that stuff back going. And then after I enrolled, I started like, cause people know me. Yeah. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna throw myself a welcome home birthday party for myself. Okay. And then I threw a welcome home party and I did okay. I was like, all right, this might be all right. Yeah. So I waited probably like another year and I tried it again and I did very well. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be something I'm gonna do because I looked at it from my street perspective. I needed something. I still was like the same individual. I just was older. But I needed something to kind of pretty much bring not the same income as the street, but similar. Got it. You know, and you got to understand when you throw concerts and parties, one person, $40, $50 a ticket. You know what I'm saying? When I was in the streets, similar, same. Okay. You know, so I get 100 people in here at $50, okay. It's $5,000, okay? Yeah. So let me try to...
And you're thinking about...
Yes, and I implemented that same street knowledge into the concert and promotion knowledge. And I took it and started doing that. And then once I got that rolling for a while, I started venturing into the restaurant side, and then the real estate side, and then the film side. Okay. Yes,
so you got educated.
Yes.
And because most high-powered CEOs and executive directors, from what I understand, are risk takers.
Yes.
Okay, so you're a risk taker, not afraid to lose, to gain.
That's one thing I say a lot. I'm not afraid to fail in front of nobody. And that's where people fail at. They're scared, prideful of somebody else seeing them fail. You got to fail to win. You know how many times these superstars fail?
All the time.
Yeah. I tell my son all the time, hey, don't worry about it. You know, it's a process. And you got to fail to win. And I don't have a problem. Yeah, I can talk about me all I want. It take one good time to win.
That's it.
That's it. You can be broke all this time. But that one good time gonna take care of you and your family and everybody else for generations.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all it take. And even I didn't complete CC because I feel like they was teaching us outdated material, and I was just running my financial aid bill up.
Gotcha.
You know, so I couldn't afford it. So I stayed enough where I'm pretty still gonna go back and get the degree because I only got like 10 credits I need.
Okay. Yeah.
But I got the information, I got the verbiage, and I got the language. And that's what I needed.
Like, you got to talk about that. Why is that so important?
Yes.
Because we're trying to get young people to get through high school because we're pushing education. But what you just described is the education.
Yeah. You need the verbiage. You need to know the language. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to understand what people talking about. You can't just go in there and say blah, 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 blah. They're going to look at you crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so you want to be able to go in there and articulate a sentence. You know, you want to be able to talk to these people and they can be like, okay, well, he knows something. And then you show them from your actions. Yeah. And that's what I pretty much do. Like, and I don't go in with no hidden agenda. I'll be honest.
So the golden rules.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and don't beat yourself down when you fail. You know, I done had events where I was doing like every Saturday and stuff on events, and 5 people coming. Everybody tired. The bartenders looking at you crazy. They ain't making no money. Yeah. The club owner ready to get rid of you and stuff like that. But it's a process. And I found a way to get people in there. Okay, first 100 ladies free then. And then I got champagne for the first 100 ladies. You know, I took a loss at first to get a bigger win.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to learn how to, you know, learn from your failures. And a lot of people scared to cross that line because they're scared to fail.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's not costing you a bunch of money or a headache, you know, hair not falling out, hey, man. Hey,
your hair not falling out.
Hey.
Just go with it.
Just go with it. Yep, just go with it.
So tell us about some of your businesses. Because we all know. When I heard about, I was like, a potato.
Yeah.
A loaded spud and a potato. Tell me more. So when I went and got one, I was like, wait, where did you get this potato from? This potato is huge.
It's huge. Yeah, so they Idaho potatoes, man. I tell everybody, they be like, is them steroids in the potato? Nope. Our boxes, I show all our customers a lot. Like, the non-GMO, it's gluten-free. It's not genetically modified. And they're Idaho potatoes. But we got large potatoes, and we pretty much load them any way you like. Man. You know, so not saying this is the same concept, but you still got to understand the concept. So when you're in prison, they have cook-ups. They got cook-ups in a bowl. You put your stuff on top. You put your stuff on the bottom, and you know you make it like that. So you go look at our potato bowl.
Wow.
You got the potato. It's healthy. Vegetarians can eat it. Vegans, you can get pretty much everything you want it, and you put your stuff on top. Similar fashion, different lanes. Yeah. So we just got to think outside the box.
What you got me thinking about too, man, is lived experience.
Yes.
You were somehow able to take your lived experience, pull in some education, some language, all of that, and then take it, formulate it, and make it your own. Yeah. And I felt like, even with the restaurant thing, we was doing great. We was on Fuller and Knapp, connected to the gas station. And the landlord seen us doing well. He tried to up the rent the next month. It was like $1,000 extra or $1,500 for the next year. So we went that extra a month, and then we had to move to 28th Street by the mall, and we failed there. Okay. And then I ended up moving on Madison in a neighborhood with a different partner, and it's been well. Yeah. So it's just the process. Now, what if I would have gave up? It wouldn't be one in Battle Creek. It wouldn't be one in Kalamazoo on campus. It wouldn't be one finna open in Niles. It wouldn't be one finna open in Tampa. It's a lady one in Huntsville, Alabama right now, Chicago. So it wouldn't be none of those if I'd have said, you know what, after 28th Street, we done. So you gonna fail. You gotta fail. That's the only thing people don't understand. They just see. Yeah, you see the outside. There you go. You see the success. That's it. Yeah. They don't know what it go through. It's hard having relationships. It's hard with all that, because when you're trying to date a woman or you're dealing with a woman, she's like, you ain't never still, you know? I need time. I need some time. I need some stability, you know? And at that time where you trying to get to the top,
you know where you come from, and you see the goal, but they don't see the goal. Because a lot of times people be around people that be setting goals that's so far out reach, can't get them. Yeah. And that's why I tell people, don't set the big broad goals. Set a nice one, get a little bit, then set another one, and tackle it each, parameter at a time. And that's pretty much what I learned I have to do. Because we all want the mansions and the big cars, but okay, we gotta take the baby step and get this house first. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now let's do this. Okay, we might have got some equity in this one. Now we're gonna take that and get another one. Yeah. And then now we can sit back later on in life, and now we got a big house. So it just take time. And I'm content with not having all the lavish stuff that people think I should have. Okay. No, I'm neighborhood. You're gonna see me in the neighborhood. I do giveaways for the kids. I've been doing that for 15 years. Easter giveaways, 500 Easter baskets. Christmas, I got one coming up in December. I feed all the kids at Baxter. We do like 500-600 gifts. We had a fraternity brothers, the sororities. We be having senators. Everybody come out. And I've been doing that for 14 years because I like to see the kids in the community come have some stuff and be comfortable and have a nice hot meal, not just the bag lunches. We feed my mama's in there, my aunties, and we feed real turkey, real food, and people, it's not for the less fortunate, it's for everybody. And there might be some people in there you didn't know that you can bond with and meet with, and just the connection. So that's why I give back and like to, make sure the community knows so they can see a person that grew up around the same neighborhood as them.
Yeah, yeah. So they're going to be brothers and sisters watching this currently in county jails across the country. Mm-hmm. What would you tell them while they're sitting in their cell?
Keep your head up, like straight up, like this not the end of life. It's just a process for you to get better at what you need to do. I've been in y'all shoes 100 times, And if it is a situation where you can't get out of there, try to learn, try to read, try to get better education in there, try to go to the law library, try to make a better relationship with your family, and once you start your healing process, the doors will start opening up. Where we be bitter at ourselves and at our family for things that we didn't achieve, and we got to start by taking responsibility within self, So once we take responsibility within self, the healing process can start, and you can start, getting ways so you can get out them gates, because this ain't the last rodeo for y'all. Yeah. It's not, I've been in situations where I was like, wow, how I get here. Yeah. But like I said, it's just a process you got to deal with.
You use a great word, healing. Healing. Why is that so important?
Because like, if you so just angry, you're so mad at the world, and you never healing, you're not going to get far. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still going to have that anger and that resentment behind you, holding you back. Yeah. If somebody did me wrong, that don't mean I just want to see them do bad. I just don't deal with them. I'm going to stay away. The old me, but once you get older and you move around, you pretty much be like, nah, I need to
I'm good.
Chill.
I sit in a room probably with maybe 13. Actually, their names are sitting right on that list there of young brothers that I see. 13, maybe it's 13 of us, 13 or 14 of them. And I've had to make a commitment to go into the jail and sit in the room with them from 7:30 to 9:30. Sometimes I might even push it to 10 o'clock.
They look forward to seeing you.
Yeah.
They do. It's like, so like, and that's, and it be days you don't want to, it ain't like days that it's nothing against them, but it's days that you might be tired or like, man, you don't want to go, but they look forward to seeing you because that's some hope to them. You're a former outside. That's hope. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand that. They don't see it. It's different when you in there. Cause like I said, a lot of people don't have nothing. They can't get on the phone. They ain't getting nothing sent to them. The food, this should be against the law. The health department need to shut the county down for that food in there. Real talk. So like, it's horrible. So you got people in there pretty much starving, don't have much, losing weight, everything. And it's just, go eat or go do this, and they don't got no family to talk to. So when they get to see you and you bring in just a little bit of outside worldness to them, like that's hope for them. Because one day they hope that they gonna walk out them gates.
Yeah. And you made me think about, we talked about healing, but hope is an important piece to this too. How did you maintain hope when you were there?
When I was incarcerated, so they started me in a level 4 prison.
Okay, tell us what level 4.
Level 4, so your levels go, so camp is a lower level when you really got less time. And then the highest level is like a level 5. Well, now they got like a 6 where you always lock down, but a 5 is like super max, and then a 4 is right under that. Okay. So that's for people that's pretty much doing life, disciplinary, like kind of bad, always getting in trouble, or people that got a lot of time, or violent crimes. Okay. So they sent me to level 4, which my bunkie was an older guy, been down like 30 years and pretty much had life. And we just wasn't on the same page. So, you know what I'm saying? I think he ended up moving out. You know what I'm saying? I'm young, I'm chill, but I still ain't going for the nonsense neither. Gotcha. And I ended up getting a younger bunkie, which he had been down like 10 years, but he had 2 natural lives, you know? So when I was in that level 4, which we're in our rooms 23 hours a day for one day, and then you come out for a shower or go to the yard, and then the next day you're in your room 22 hours a day. So you only out for one day, probably out 7 hours a week out of the whole week you out your room.
7 hours.
Probably the whole week. So you figure one day you out for 1 hour, the next day 2, so that's 3. So you got 4, that's 6. Yeah, out of 5 days you out 7 hours. So probably about 10 hours the whole week. You know, so you locked in a room with another man that's got life or a whole bunch of time, and he going through his own issues, and then you got your own issues. You got to use the bathroom, you got to put a sheet up. Hey, I use the restroom, bro. You in our room all day, you got to put a sheet up to use the toilet, you know, in there with another man. You know, so it's a lot of stuff that's degrading and stuff down. See, when you go on a visit, they kind of take it away from you, because you go on a visit. I had this good visit with my family, my mom and everything. I got a strip search, and I got to go through all this process of degradingness. They try to degrade your family, pat them down and everything like that. So the hope is just like, I knew that I didn't have all the time that them guys had in there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, I just got to hope I can be able to walk this down and get to a smaller level. Then when I got to a different level, I could see the difference and the lower the levels. But when you in the higher levels, ain't no hope. Man. Ain't none. I done seen guys in there, like, a lot of guys' coping mechanisms is going to the med line, you know, trying to get some drugs or something that can, you know, ease the pain. I done seen guys going there like me and you, and I catch them 4 or 5 years later at other prisons. They walking like a zombie because the meds done got to them, because they trying to cope with it. Yeah, and it's not like that place. Really, I tell people all the time, it's a world inside another world, and if you're not mentally for it, it'll break you, like it will. And a lot of guys, where, you know, they go to the lower level, so they go to prison, they be like, oh, that ain't nothing. Yeah, I get. You went to a camp. You went to a level 1 where everybody finna go home. Okay. But when you go to the higher levels, even level 2s, because people all day, but it's people that's, you know, but when you go to the higher levels, the 4s and the 5s, where they ain't never going home, what they got to lose? Yeah.
What are you seeing right now in 2025 when it comes to young men in this community? Where are they going?
Man, 2025, the direction as the youth right now, I think we're in a bad state. Okay. If you look across the globe, like, the young guys, they take killing as like a art or something. Like, it's just the drill rap music, which I don't have nothing against it because I listen to some of it. But you have young guys, remember, we go back to the role models. You following behind your cousins and your friends. They see that and they think a lot of people is living by those elements, and they think it's cool. Like, you could turn your phone on and see a shooting, somebody die. You just scrolling on social media. Yeah. So the people go outside and see it, and it's like it's normal. So, like, I think Ottawa, they said they had a 50% or 60% school rate or something like that. Kids not going to school. You know, a lot of kids don't want to live that life as far as education. Yeah, and they gonna need it. You know, so,
but they can't see.
They can't see it. They can't see it, and that's where the adults, you know, need to come in. But it's hard because a lot of kids can go like on social media and see differently. Yeah. And if I can see somebody doing better than my parents, and they showing me a different direction, I want to follow that direction. Yeah, and that's what ends up happening a lot of time.
Man, so Mikey, what's next for you? What projects, dreams, community ideas? What are you thinking?
So I'm just finished my second film. It's in editing process right now. So I'm finna get that pretty much up and running so I can get that on Prime and stuff like that. And my things for the community, like I just definitely want to do something for the kids. I want to get together. Like we need something that they can have. We need a nice little school or a nice little programming that we can have something for these kids so they can come in here and learn this type of stuff.
Yeah.
They can learn podcasting.
Yeah.
They can learn how to articulate and do some business. You know what I'm saying? They can learn how to, school don't even teach home ec.
Yeah. I got a lot of young brothers can't cook.
They can't
don't
cook.
know how to do laundry.
How you gonna fend for yourself?
Yeah.
So just things of that nature. Like I said, can't do laundry, can't cook, so like now it's become you're dependent on a female.
Yeah.
Now you're being lazy, basically. You know what I'm saying? Your dependence, like this not your woman, you pretty much just gonna be your mom. So it goes all to that. So we need something base for these kids, man. So I'm definitely just thinking, and my wheels is turning on what I pretty much want to do with that. I always gonna make sure I take care of the community because that's what I'm about.
Okay.
But we definitely need something for these kids, and we also need something for kids that's getting out of juvenile.
Yeah.
Because for example, kids getting right out of juvenile, you just seen on the news, a young brother just got out of juvenile and this situation was shooting at the police.
Yeah.
Hadn't been out a couple months.
Yeah.
And my partner, they go up to the juvenile, talk to them kids on Tuesdays.
Okay.
So that was one of their little, they had love for him, So it goes where they get out of juvenile. Same thing I said after I got out of prison.
Yeah.
It's no, hey, you can go talk to this counselor.
Okay.
Hey, you can go do this. It's just, hey, don't get in no trouble. Hey, mom, we took him for 9 months or a year and hope you can cope with them.
Yeah.
So it's no programs after the storm.
And maybe, because I've been challenged with this too, right? It's programming has to go beyond programming. It
Yes.
has to be relationship,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because I think we got a plethora of programs.
Yes.
But if there's no relationships connected to
Yeah.
it, then how do I connect to the program?
Yeah. And it got to be some guys like with the programs we talking about that have people that's relatable, that
Absolutely.
comes from.
Yeah, where they're from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you can't come in there with where did you live at? Oh, I lived up. And you don't know nothing about what goes on with these kids in their life and what happened or what they relate to that they don't even want to open up to you.
Yeah. So you got to be relatable.
You got to be relatable. You
got to know the community.
Yeah, you got to, and all that plays a role, not saying that a person that's outside the community can't come talk to them,
Right.
But they got to feel comfortable enough they want to open up and they can relate to them.
Let me ask you this, because you said, I really wish that my son's dad would have just said, hey.
Yeah, like pull my coat.
Would have just pull my coat and talk to me. Why do you think men in our community might not be so willing to do that with young brothers?
Man, that's a big question.
Because I want you to think about that. What might be keeping men to be able to say, hey, bro, let me talk to you for a minute.
I say this all the time. It's like the older parents. Remember back in the day, you grew up and your moms and dads like, don't ask me no questions. I don't want no kids, no explanation. You do. You do. You do. You owe me every explanation because you had me and I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? So if I don't know that I know I'm doing wrong, but I don't know the severity of this wrong, you as an adult, we aunties, uncles, everybody, well, you better get in place. So as an adult, you should be like, hey, pull yourself up. Let me show you. But I learned like our parents and beyond is like they never, they never ever try. Not saying all of them, but just looking statistically, like they never ever tried to.
Yeah, because that generation had that old school philosophy.
Right.
You'll do what I say because I told you to do it.
I told you.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes.
Like all of those.
They were trained that way though because their parents didn't know.
Yeah.
It was programming from up top.
Yeah.
And it came down, and that's why I say a lot of times, and parents might be mad at me, but a parent can be a child's biggest downfall too. If you just like a coach, it all plays a role.
Yeah.
You coaching, you got some type of parentingship in here with this child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're teaching.
Yeah.
And if you're teaching this child, don't ask no questions. Don't ask me this. Don't do that. And don't. Now it's like, well, who am I gonna get this information from?
Yeah.
And the kids gonna go find it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now you got anybody can give them that information. They putting it in that USB again. So now you got anybody giving these kids information. Now I done soaked up the wrong information.
Yeah.
You know, so I never understood why parents back then, and not like I feel like her father owed me anything, you know. But me being a grown up now, all my little cousins that's under me, all their friends come around, you know, they play college basketball, you know, some of them in the neighborhood, and I pull all their coats. I don't care if they 20 deep. Hey, come here. What y'all on? Let me tell y'all. Let me give y'all some game. Let me give y'all this. And I do it all the time to the point they know. And that's what we got to do. We got to keep pouring it on them. You don't score them. You know, got to be relatable with them. You know, and it's a difference.
Because we have some men that will just go, and I'm just going to tell you what to do. And young people are like, no, I don't need you to tell me what to do. Show me what to do.
And I show them for my actions. Like I say, my restaurant been 10 years. So since, if they 18, they was 8 coming in the restaurant. So they see like, oh man, yeah, cuz showing. You know, y'all need a job? Come down here and work for a little bit. Y'all need to do this? What y'all doing? I mean, I need y'all help at the restaurant. I need y'all to help me do this catering. So things like that, my actions show. You know, oh, I'm finna work on this movie, y'all. Okay. And then a year go by, they see me still working on it, filming. Oh, the movie finna drop. And they be like, oh, he doing this. So I just show them, and I try to make my word mean everything to them.
Man.
And that's for the most part. But I think the generation before, like, I just don't know why the parents, you know. It's hard to say.
Well, when you have those old school philosophies and you don't really see and not educated on children. I mean, we don't. My mother did not go to school to understand the adolescent brain.
Mine either.
She wasn't talking about the neuroscience when it comes to behavior. Like, so we do now have a lot more information due to our access. But I also think that was an ideology around what children were and what adults were. And I also think too, when I think about the experiences that I had growing up with my mother and other mothers, they thought that that was protection. So I'm gonna protect you by making sure you're not in grown folks' business. I don't explain nothing to you. You're not ready for it. But in actuality, now with the World Wide Web as at full access with a phone, we have to be the information. What's the word I'm looking for? We have to be able to decipher through that information for our children because there's so much. I now have to tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, no, that's AI.
But it's fake.
That's not real, Mom. And my mom's like, I can't believe this this wolf just attacked. And I'm like, no, Mom, that's not real. Or this car. And she's like, well, what's AI? So now I've got a 65-year-old mom. Now I'm trying to help her understand what she's seeing isn't actually what she's seeing.
No, I get it. My mom's
You know what I
69,
mean?
so I know the same, bro. I get it 100%. And it's like, when I went to prison, wasn't no Facebook.
There was no Facebook when you went to prison.
No MySpace.
You didn't have
nothing. So me coming home, boom, it's a fake world. So I got out, and it was Facebook and all these other social media. So I'm like, what is this? So that's why I use my social media platforms just to post and things like. I never really put my personal life on there too much because to me it's still fake. Like it wasn't around when I left. I was in the real world. You know, so then when I came home, all these social media things, I'm like, okay, people telling their life on here and they advertising everything, and no, this ain't for me. So all this is new to me. Even though I've been home 16 years now, I still don't take it as what people take it as.
Because you didn't grow up.
I didn't grow up in it. It wasn't around me. You know, I was 18 when I left, so it still wasn't here when I was pretty much adult. You know, so it's just all was new. So that's how I was able to kind of keep my life away from that type of It's I stay in the real world. And I know it's a real world.
That's powerful because I think that's where we're losing our children. They're not in the real world.
No.
It's very much artificial. I just heard something around boys are now dating artificially.
It's crazy.
Because they don't have they're getting closer and closer connected to their devices than they are with real relationships and communication with people.
Yes, you're right about that.
I mean, I've seen people lose their phone and lose their mind.
Go crazy.
Go crazy.
Because they put all the information and everything, and they believe this is the tool that you need. Nobody reads anymore, pretty much. You know, like people was just stuck on being in everybody else's business. And instead of minding their own.
Yeah.
If you take how much time that you put on social media, those hours, and the time you in there meddling and minding somebody else's business,
Yeah.
you can take them hours and better yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can take a course or something.
Yeah.
I mean, and people don't, and they look up, like how you said, the parents are trying to protect us and, stay out of grown folks' face and stay out of this and that, but not knowing time go like this. So you look up, that child ain't a child no more.
At all.
Now he's 13, 14, 15, and he need to know that information.
Yep.
Because somebody's in the street going to give him that information.
Yeah. And what I want parents to remember is they are the best teachers to provide that information.
Yes, the best.
They are the best.
Like the bond between you, your mom, you and your father, especially when you're in a house, it'd be totally something different. So you're the first line of defense.
Yeah.
And if you're the first line of defense, you're the first one I need to put that information in that USB.
Yeah.
You got to get that information in that brain.
Yeah.
And if you allow someone to get beyond that line of defense, now they can program your child to anything they want to do. Now the kids end up being in the juvenile system. Now the kids don't go from the juvenile system to the prison system. My probation officer told me when I was in juvenile, day treatment night watch, he said it was like 15 of us in the class. He said, statistically, it say 85% of y'all going to prison. And he ain't lie. Out of us 12, I don't know where the other guys at, but at least 8 of us was in there. Yes, he didn't lie. And he knew, because it was set up like that. We were going down the program the same route because we was lacking in areas that we needed help in.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, business owner, producer, community activist, solution healer. What's next for you?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Sky's the limit.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think people always think they're supposed to have a beautiful answer to that.
No.
I don't know is a beautiful answer.
I don't know, man. I don't.
There's so much freedom in that. I knew you were going to say that.
I don't, bro.
I don't know.
I don't, man. I don't. I just want to, just try to make sure I have something for my kids when I'm not here no more.
Yeah,
legacy. Yeah, that's it, and just change the name because the old people that know me, that knew me and don't know what I'm doing now, knew the old me that was getting in trouble. So I want my kids to be able to walk around here, they can have their head held high and be like, that's my daddy, So that's pretty much what I want.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I used to tell the young brothers I used to teach at in the facility, I used to say, your last name is the history of your family.
Yes, indeed.
Your first name you get to create and design it.
Yes, indeed.
So be careful what you allow people to call you.
Yes, indeed.
And be careful what you accept when people call you. So a name is really important because I hear that from you too. My name carried from the street into the prison. Yes. And that was really what supported you. I tell
people all the time, I didn't mean to cut you off. I tell people all the time, your name is kind of more important than money. You can always get some money. It can come and go.
Yeah.
Can't get no new name.
Man.
If I keep a good name, I can get more money off my name than I can by messing it up.
Come on, man.
You feel me? So your name is definitely all you have.
Man.
Because if I do you wrong and you tell your friends or everybody, be like, don't mess with him. His name, I'm cut off.
That's cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I done messed up with everybody where, with a good name, your friends like, oh, that's a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we can work with him. We can do something with him. We can help. We can build,
Yeah.
So you right about that?
Yeah. And a good name, when somebody says something about that name, there's enough history in there that folks to be like, wait a minute.
Yes.
I don't know if you're talking about that
Yes,
right. That's not the person I know.
Yes.
So so people have to protect. That's why I tell young people, protect your name.
No, true.
Protect your name. Protect your name. And be careful what you call it. Man, listen, so we always end the episode with the name of the podcast is What I Know Now. Can you tell us, looking back, what have you learned now that you wish you would have known before?
I just wish that I had a chance to talk, if I was able to talk to the old me.
Yeah.
If I was able to just look back and change and talk to the old me, really just patience and guidance. I had a temper.
Okay.
So it was like I was an impulse mover. I move off impulse, not thinking. So really just being able to change the ways that I move and not move off impulse, change my attitude, I probably wouldn't even been in the situation that I was in to put me in the prison. You know, so a lot of times we allow anger, temperament, and things like that to make you react.
Yeah.
And that's why I said like not everybody in jail because they, you know, because you've been done something off impulse and be like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, so not pretty much being impulsive and, you know, just change my way of living. Like, prison ain't for us. Jail ain't for us.
Yeah.
That it's not for nobody. Like, I mean, it is for the people, like I say, that do the stuff that they shouldn't be doing. We know all that.
Sure.
But like mentally, for people that's really was kids and just was trying to better their life for stuff, like it definitely can, you know, mess you up.
Yeah.
So being able to talk to that kid and just giving them the right direction and understanding, that's what I would change. I'd be able to talk to kids. I wish I had somebody like me that'd be able to talk to me.
Man.
You know, and with that, I feel if you could change a few kids at a time, you know, the world would be a better place.
And the most powerful thing when you think about karma is that now you're doing what didn't get done for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I do it.
Yeah, man.
And I preach that a lot. Like, I've been doing giveaways for 15 years, and I've seen kids go from 2 to 17. I've seen kids go from 10 to 25, you know? So I done seen the kids grow up, and when they see me, they like, he looked out, he always, and you know, so, and that's why I have that form of security in the neighborhood as well, because I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I come from where they come from, no matter what I achieved. So they gonna look out for their own.
Yeah.
And I'm safe, you know, like people like, you be in the neighborhood, you crazy, you know, like my restaurant in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's been a neighborhood for 10 years. We changed that whole corner. The homies don't stand out there. We get more demographics of people than our own in my restaurant that come sit and feel comfortable because we switched that neighborhood up.
Yeah.
And it's all a process.
Yeah. So tell everybody who isn't from Grand Rapids, and you got a couple of other restaurants opening up across the country.
Yeah.
Give us the name, and then tell us where people can find you.
So the restaurant is Load, Load, A Spud, Spud. Load A Spud Potato Bar. Check us out. We got the best potatoes in the world.
Man, I vouch for it. What can we check you out at?
But that's on Madison Avenue in Grand Rapids, Michigan, 1721 Madison Avenue. You can find me on Facebook, Michael Buxton. You can find me on Instagram at Ton of Bucks. So that's TONOFBUX. That's my last name backwards. So Ton of Bucks. So, you know, that's where you can find me at.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Y'all need me anytime. Coming through.
Thank you for listening. Check out our programs on the Delta Project's website, thedeltaproject.co. And be sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.